he's here on by divine appointment. Man, I didn't know it was going this long already. Gosh. Well, we have a speaker this morning, and I want you to welcome me. He's been instrumental in my life. There's been times when the Holy Ghost woke him up when he was in Florida. I was going through a situation that nobody knew about. Nobody knew about it. I hadn't told nobody. How many know as men, there's some things we keep to ourselves that we're struggling with, that we're going through. The Holy Ghost woke him up, and he called me. He said, Spike, he says, the Lord showed me your heart. It was being pierced with arrows. See, there were 3 arrows that hit my heart one day. 3 people that I genuinely loved decided to walk away from basically my circle of influence. And it pierced my heart. But Jay called me up and he said, I saw you in a dream where these arrows were piercing your heart. Remember that, Jay? He spoke a word. See, there's people that know what God is doing. So I do believe in dreams and visions. Will you help my friend Jay come up as he ministers some words to us this morning? That's a man that I love.
Listen, thank y'all so very much. I appreciate it. I've got something to do today. Can I steal this thing right here? Is that okay? I kind of needed a little stool, and I was wondering if this is strong enough. Yeah, that works pretty good. I want to mess you guys up. Is that okay? I asked Mike and Sylvia, we got together lunch, and I said, I want to mess these guys up a little bit if it's all right. How was that for a one-handed carry? All right. Boy, don't you wish the guys in the NFL could hold a football like that? I'm going to mess you guys up. I'm going to come down here. You might want to turn me down just a little bit, Mrs. Soundman. Is there Mrs. Soundman back there? Or Mr.? There we go. You might turn me down just a little bit. There you go. Because I'm going to come right back here. Because whenever I asked Spike if I could speak this Sunday, I said, Spike, God told me to speak to the back row. So if you guys would just pick up your chairs where you are, turn them right to this point right here. Because I'm going to talk from right here. And if you can move closer to me, I'd really appreciate it. That's great, sound person. Is there a lady? Yeah, it's you. Yeah, good. Thank you. Now give the sound lady a hand. Thank you very much. Please just, if you want to turn, if you want to unhook your chair and turn it around, I want you to be comfortable. So don't go like that. Go ahead and unhook your chair. They'll snap and just turn them right around. Because I want to speak to you from right here. And the good news is that what I have to talk about today is in 3 parts. And so if we just, I'm going to look over at Spike and Sylvia, and if we just get the first part done, that's great. If we just get the first and the second part, that's fine too. Whatever. All of you guys that are the furthest away, come on as close as you can, please. Get as close to me as you can. I want a real intimate, close, I want to look at you eye to eye because I want to tell you all something. Oh, thank you, Kim. I want to tell you guys something that I've never told but a handful of people in my life. And this is going to have a lot to do with the reason why that Vicki and I have been so successful financially. I believe it's the #1 reason. But it also, when I tell you this, what I have to tell you, it also is going to take a burden off of me and put one on you. And it's going to be very intimate. Like I said, I wish that we were in Spike and Sylvia's den right now. And I could cram you all in there just within a couple of feet of me. You know, just nobody is further than just a few feet. So like I say, if you're far away in that section back over there, Kel, where you guys are, there's some seats right here. There's a bunch right in here. Please come take these. Please come take these, because what I have to tell you about, I said, I've only told a handful of people in my life. It's so deep, so much a part of me, so deep in my spirit that I've just not released it to anyone. And what it's all about is this. I've had 3 visions in my life from God. You know, the Bible said old men will dream dreams and young men will see visions. Thank God I'm still getting visions. You know, Spike said, dang, I was right out of my head, Tino's son on the piano. Come on down and just join us, if you will. Y'all give him a hand. What an amazing young man. What a blessing.
What a blessing. What a blessing. See, I never even know if Lorenzo's up there or not. You know that black on black looking thing? Would you grin so we'll know if you're up there? They're those pearly whites. I see them, man. Oh, man. You know, like I said, I want that real soft, tender atmosphere because I got to tell you a couple of things. You know, first of all, I got to say, you know, when Spike said that the preaching, the teaching of the you know, the service is not the biggest deal, he knew that I would be the one he was going to ask up later on. So he knew this was not going to be the biggest part of the service. But no, actually, if you'll leave your heart open to what I'm going to say this morning, if you will take what I'm going to share with you, what God shared with me in a vision, and bring it into your heart. Today will not be powerful. It will not just be powerful. It will not just be life-changing. It will be monumental in your life. What I'm going to tell you this morning will change your life forever because it did mine. And I've had 3 visions. I'm going to tell you, before we ever get started, I want to tell you that these 3 visions, the first one is devastating. Okay, I'm just going to tell you straight up. I've never gotten through it without choking completely up because it's devastating. Boy, I wish Brother Phillips was here right now. He could hand me a Kleenex already. You remember Brother Phillips and how he would do that? Oh my God. Thank you, baby doll. It's devastating. Absolutely devastating. The second one started out in devastation and then just got glorious. And the third one just went from glory to glory, which is what being with God is all about. But it really, you know, and I want to preface it by saying this, that a vision is unlike anything I've ever had. If I get, you know, God forbid, but if I get Alzheimer's in my life and completely forget everything and everyone I've ever known, I'm absolutely convinced that the last thing that I would forget will be the visions that God has given me. It's so real, it becomes more real than an actual event in my life. I may forget names, I may forget events in my life. I already have to be reminded about many things, you know, that I've experienced, things that I've done. But these visions are so implanted in my brain, I could not forget them if I wanted to. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so I want to tell you, you know, at least the first vision, and God's called me. I'm going to be leaving from here this week. I won't be with you for another month, and I'll just be in for a Sunday and then gone again till April. But God's told me I'm going to head down and take a little sabbatical on the beach, and I know you guys will feel sorry for me down there. I'm going to write a book, and it's going to be called 3 Visions in small letters that will change your life. And this is the first vision that I had. It's the devastating one. I want to apologize before I ever begin, before I tell you this vision, because I've only told it to a handful of people in my life. And I had it 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, if you'll think about it, it's when our financial picture started to change. So I really dressed up pretty fancy today, as fancy as I could. These are my finest shoes. These are $300 Italian shoes. I bought them down in Florida at the shop. Got them for half price, but aren't they pretty? Those are dandy shoes. But no, I mean, I try to be frugal, but I spent more on these shoes than any shoes I've ever bought in my life. I've got on this red shirt. My grandmother said I always look good in red. And this nice tie, you know, and this black suit that I think my kids got me, didn't they, for Christmas a couple, 3 years ago. And so the reason I want to wear this suit is because in this vision, this first vision, this is what I had on. I was dressed in absolutely the finest thing I had on. And I was in Africa. And I was walking down a dirt road in Africa with a suit on, just like this. I'm walking down a dirt road in Africa with a suit on, just like this. I'm looking just like this, except for there was one huge difference, is I had a backpack on my back. And I know that what was in that backpack was food, water, and a Bible. I had food, water, and a Bible in my backpack. And I'm walking down dirt roads in Africa. I come upon a little boy that is sitting on a log. It's very dirty, very dusty, very... the only thing that really fits in this picture is the backpack. You see what I'm saying? But I know what these symbols mean. I know that what it means is I've got it all together and I've got everything he needs. I've got it all together. I'm a man of influence. I'm a man of affluence. I'm a man that has it all together, and I'm walking down a dusty, dirty African road, and I come up onto a dried up log that has died years ago, sitting over, probably bug infested, with a little black boy sitting on it nude, naked. His belly is swollen. His limbs are almost non-existent. Just skin and bone. Nothing but skin and bone. His belly is so swollen, and he's sitting on a log. And here I come along, and I've got everything he needs. I have food in my backpack. I have water in my backpack. I have the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. I have the Bible in my backpack. And I sat down beside this little boy, fully able to meet every need this little starving child has. And I reached back into my backpack, and do you know what I pulled out of it? No. Didn't pull out the Bible. I didn't pull out water. I didn't even pull out the food. You know what I pulled out, Greg? A deck of cards. A deck of cards. I sat there. I promise I'm trying, y'all. I sat there, and for the next several minutes, I tried to play cards with this little boy. He's dying. He hardly has the strength to sit on that log. And I pull out a deck of cards and start trying to play a game with this little boy. And he's sweet. And he's looking at me. And he's trying to understand what in the world this crazy man's doing in a suit in Africa, and all he can do is pull out something and try to show me something I have no concept of whatsoever. And I sit there and tried to play cards and teach this little boy how to play this game until he fell over in the dirt and died at my feet. Right in front of me. I said, Church, I wish I could impart this to you the way it came, and I'm really sorry that I can't. Because when you have one of these visions, it is, like I said, so real, so powerful that it's more than life itself. I will never forget this. It's been 20 years, you guys, and I have never been able to even talk about this to anybody. But it's a game changer. So let me tell y'all something. I can't live life after that time the way I lived life before. It changes things. It makes you see things in a whole different perspective, in a whole different way. We just paid off the building. And today is the day that we look forward and say, okay, that's done. What's next? What's next? Hate me if you want to. I can take it. These are pretty big shoulders I got here. But the next time you're about to sign for a brand new vehicle that is the very maximum that you can afford, and you just can't quite sign your name to that note, just say, that dadgum J. Perdue, and throw the pen down and I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? When you're about to limit yourself out on a house, limit yourself out in this, limit yourself out in that, limit yourself out in something else, and you just can't quite do it after today, after hearing my words. Because you know, what God showed me was that was not just me. That's all of us. As I drove into this neighborhood this morning, I'm looking at some of the really poorest, most pathetic houses in Amarillo. And do you realize that everybody in this neighborhood is living better than 90% of the people on this planet today? The people in this neighborhood are living better than 90% of the people on this planet today. They are eating better than 90% of the people on this planet today. They have more access to church and to God than 90% of the people on this planet today. So if you're wondering why this multimillionaire is in your church that drives a 92 Chevrolet, an old beat-up Jeep, never bought a new car in his life, in the last 20 years for sure. Know this, it's because I can't. I can't. I cannot. Let me tell you what I do have. There's a school in Pakistan, I think, ran in Nicky Montgomery. And in that school, it's a Christian school, there's a plaque and it says, this entire building was dedicated by Perdue Acoustics. There are water wells in Africa that were drilled on the money of J. and Vicky Perdue and Perdue Acoustics. There's a children's television show that's trying to get out and do as much good as we humanly possibly can called Wilbur to Willow. I don't have new cars. I don't want one. Vicki and I left our bedroom this morning to come and preach to you. I want you to know my bedroom is 9 feet by 12 feet. I have what I need. I always have money. We always can eat where we want, do what we want, because we do not spend. It's not about how much money we make, it's how much money we spend. And it's also about how much money we give. You guys have graciously called us outreach ministers. I don't know that we deserve that title, but I do know this, is that we live to give. And we live to give because God allowed me to see a little black boy in Africa sitting on a log fall at my feet in the dirt because I wanted to play games instead of do what I could do with what I had to do with. You are richer than you think. You have more to give than you think. You have more at your disposal than you think. And whenever you start getting a heart to give, look at what I'm telling you, is 20 years ago, we started giving like never before. One time our CPA said, you guys gave more than you made legally last year. A lot of creative shuffling there, but it's allowed. We didn't do anything illegal, you know. But we did. He was so upset with us because Vicki is one of the people, first person that I shared this with. And she knows she's as big a giver as I am. We have a motorhome. You guys saw that thing out there. What is that motorhome? Well, it's a tool. I get in it and I travel over the country so that I can make more money, so that I can have more to give, more to help with, more to do with. It's a $300,000 motorhome. We paid $34,000 for it, by the way. blessing. I don't know if you guys saw it parked out here. Boy, that's a dang nice motorhome. I mean, and it took us all over the country, increasing our business and doing all the good that you saw us do. And never gave us but one little problem the whole time we were around. But you'll notice that the things that I have is because I need them, not because I want them. I had an airplane because I needed to get back and forth between here and our plant in Nashville. And the airplane that I chose was a $60,000 airplane that could get me back and forth on 34 gallons of fuel and 4.5 hours. It was the fastest, most economical air travel that I could possibly come up with. That's why I had the plane. It's not to be show off. It's not to do anything. It's to do because God will give me what I need to accomplish what I need to accomplish. He doesn't meet our greeds, He meets our needs, but He meets our needs amazingly, fully, completely, absolutely. Do you understand? So I think that while we shout and we scream and we yell and the snow's paid off and that's right and everything is good, I think it's also appropriate that today we ask ourselves, what's next? Yeah. What's next? What are we going to do? Are we going to play games? Are we going to pull out a deck of cards now and play? Or are we going to say, Lord, you've blessed us so much. Who do you want us to bless? Who in Amarillo, Texas needs us? Where do we need to put our talents, our abilities, our money, our influence, our whatever? What is the call for this church this year? During this fasting time, there's no better time to hear God's voice on what does He want this church to do, not among ourselves, but out there somewhere. It might be Amarillo, it might be the world, it might be somewhere. I'm going to follow these leaders over here. Wherever they tell me, that's where we're going to go and that's what we're going to do. But all I'm saying is today, church, while you're fasting, while you're praying, ask God, what do you want me to do? And here's the promise that I think that you'll hear back from God, is you catch this vision, these things to give. Get out there and give it. Don't be playing games. There's no time for games. There's no time for games. You know, there's times to play, and He wants you to have fun, and He wants you to. But there's time for ministry. There's time for taking care of people's needs. There's time for getting involved in what the rest of the world really is like. Not what we here in America sit in our houses and our places and think and wish and would like to ignore what it's like. Man, you got to be like me and pastors and Vicky in Honduras and seeing people that have 4 pieces of cardboard and pieces of metal over their head, and that's their home. You know, you got to realize that sooner or later, what we see here in America is not what it's really like out there. And we got to look beyond ourselves and be a part of the bigger picture, the world at large. Look into our backpacks, realize that we're so full. We're so affluent. We've got so much. Like I said, I've got 3 visions. The second one starts out, honestly, in a devastating way like this, but just gets absolutely glorious. And then the third one is all about glory. And I hope that we can come back, because I don't want to leave you like this. I want you to know at the end of this thing, at the end of these 3 visions, is the most incredible, indescribable, joyous thing you will ever experience in this life and the life after. Things that are coming. And so I hope I come back, but I feel like in my spirit that this is a good place to stop. Let's pray. Lord God, I thank you so much for that vision. Oh, I hated to see that vision. Oh, I hated to experience that vision. Oh, I didn't even want to talk about that vision for so long, and now I realize that what I do need to do is share it along with the other 2. But Lord God, it calls us to do something inside of each one of us, to make a decision. Like you told me, this is a message for the back row, because the back rows sometimes think that they're not part of what's going on up front. They're not the affluent. They're not the ones that have the position and maybe the money and the, you know. We sit back here, but no, back row people. You have more than you think. You have, the Spirit of the Lord is saying to you back here, you have more than you think. You have more to give than you think. You have more of everything to give than you think. And He's calling us from the front row to the back row to release that, to let that go, to give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed and shaken together. Lord God, I thank you for your word. I thank you again, like I said, for these visions. And I thank you, Lord God, that we commit ourselves during this fast, during this prayer, not only what you would have us to give financially, but Lord God, what would you have us to give to make sure that we get the word out to our neighborhoods, get the word out to our city, out to our state, our region, our country, the world at large. What would you have us to do? We're a powerful company. We're a powerful entity here. This church has proven what it can do when it puts its mind and when it puts its heart towards something. Lord God, what would you have us to do? I thank you so much, Lord God. I thank you so much, Father. Oh, this is a hard vision. And it's so hard to deliver. But I thank you, Father, that you give me the grace to be able to more or less pull it off and get it out when I didn't even think that I could. And I thank you that your Spirit rests on these people. Your Spirit rests on these people as they contemplate in 2016, what are they going to pull out of their backpack and give to the world? Amen.